thank the architect you're finally... Since you...
Can support us.
I am 100% certain that its tensile strength is marginally greater than our combined weight. Probably.
Wait, look! Someone just came up via the lift. It must be unlocked.
Seer Wiley said I wasn't on his list and let me go. He must have predicted I wouldn't fight back. I don't understand.
Void it all! I told him he wasn't going to make it. Is this why Wiley's ilk spared him? Because the seer already predicted this would be his fate?
Reckon the Order teaches this flair for the dramatic to all their seers? Or is he a special case?
Time for execution. Those outside the Order, and some simpletons within it, claim that all things happen for a reason. But the wise among us know that nothing occurs without a catalyst. Today, we are that catalyst, setting into motion the future most alive.
Nice of Seer Wiley to leave us this nightlight. Ready to wait on your command.
Orders are in the red, Commander.
Locked and loaded. To the system.
Hostilities are afoot.
Enemy in vicinity.
Target analyzed. Lay down fire. Leading.
I'll take care of him, Commander.
Development should not come at the cost of the grace and dignity of innocent lives. That is all I am saying.
I'm hearing voices coming from behind that door with the fancy Q outside it.
I know that sound anywhere. The unmistakable, indicatory whine of anchorites bickering.
Found another one. Possessing.
Anomalous data.
Check your scopes for combatant analysis.
Investigating disturbance. I'll be aiding.
Vital critical. Don't become a statistic, Commander.
Been down before.
Unorthodox at best. Those junction boxes look familiar. The N-ray scanner should show how they're wired.
Huh. I'd have expected better cable management from the Order.
Armed conflicts are not the inevitability you are making them out to be, Anya, but rather the result of a populace failing to adhere to scientism's stoic imperative.
Oh, and I suppose we're going to pretend the second pillar doesn't exist. I must have just imagined reading Alfred Long's 75 thesis on determinism then.
Anchorites. Be warned. Any conversation with these two may prove pedantic.
I'm aware of the errors of his methodology, but Long's overall opinion is still... Wait, why am I arguing with you about this?
Actually, an outside opinion might be useful at this juncture. Our current topic is whether war is ever justified. For the sake of time, please keep your answer brief. And how do you predetermine the harm of action against the harm of inaction?
We make those estimates all the time. That's the whole reason we employ seers.
We're going in circles again. If only we had access to the materials we requested, perhaps we could settle this debate.
I need the book Only Real Numbers, The Casualties of Appeasement by Exemplar Kwong. Second edition, not the first. That's important.
And I require Archivist Mahler's dissertation on de-escalation theory. You should be able to locate both pieces of scholarship in the scriptorium. I'd also caution against borrowing additional titles. The scribes are absolute fusspots when their work goes missing. You're in luck. I just finished my third reread of it. Chapter 47 is a real treat. When we're finished speaking, I'll put it in the collection drawer, but do take care with it, especially around the bath. We lose more good books that way.
Augustine? Sure. She's got a mind for provocative hypotheticals. Asked a lot more interesting questions than we normally get.
I will add it has been some time since we last saw her. Not since before the schism, in fact. Why do you ask?
Augustine was obsessed with the rift. She wanted to know all the potential routes the Order might take to deal with it. We explained that the rift is an aberration of the plan's natural order, corrupting time and space and creating uncertainty. Consequently, all efforts should be made to close it.
Yeah? And how'd she react?
Well, she hasn't returned, so perhaps she didn't like the answer we gave. Happens more often than you'd think.
Apologies, but gossip doesn't fall under our purview. We've secluded ourselves here to avoid such distractions, so I would thank you to exclude us from any remote drama. I'm sure I have no notion of what you're referring to.
Good for him. About time someone put theory into application.
What my colleague means is Landon Wiley is among our most gifted and dedicated seers. Whatever actions he's taken must be in service of the plan. I do hope no one's been hurt, though. I see. That is distressing to hear. But as we in the Order like to say, the plan actuates by deliberate means. Let us hope this conflict resolves itself soon. Much appreciated. We'll present...
Follow the plan. We'll be totally in trouble.
Look, I know this ain't gonna get to the abbot, but I have complaints that need registering anyhow. This monastery's too big for the staff we've got. And it sure seems like the scienticians and theorists here ain't fixated on keeping neat. I might just be a novice, but at 74 years old,
It's the unknown variable!
I shouldn't be picking up another body's litigation towels. Still, ain't as bad as it was in Auntie's choice. But that don't mean it's good. I just ask you folks to remember that there's more of importance out here than just your numbers.
Could have swore we left Scrabbles back on the ship.
Keep from letting burn. Eliminate the target.
Well, this is quite modest. Very simple and austere. Can hardly guess who lives here.
For a monk, our friend's sure not short on amenities.
The stalwart agent arrives. I need more time to finish my work, so I've prepared a choice for you. The hostages in the card press before you will die unless you intervene. If you go through the door on the right, you'll find the means to save them by solving a simple puzzle. Leave through the other door, however, and they will die, screaming in abject terror. But how could you call yourself an Earth Directorate agent if you allowed that to transpire?
I know a stall tactic when I see one. Calls on you, though, dear.
The Seer's already proven willing to kill for his cause. I think these folks aren't long for this world if we don't help.
Entirely depends on your priorities. My former department would say keeping on mission is of paramount importance. But I no longer think I agree.
Right. The Seer and DeVries have to be stopped. Everything else comes second.
No need for misplaced optimism. Simply accept the cost and move forward.
Great high probability. Why we got the ship. We let some others go, but didn't even give us the chance to surrender.
He's lost his wits. Kept going on about his puzzle in the research.
Wing upstairs. That must be where he hid the key to stop the press. Hurry!
Guessing the safe is part of Wiley's puzzle. Odd how obvious he's made it.
A random
random occurrence. Enemy south.
Adversary vulnerability.
Statistical improbabilities are unconcerning. Investigating disturbance.
Combatant scanned. I have a fix on their weaknesses.
I have a growing suspicion the Seer's been overindulging in aether wave stereos.
Adversary vulnerabilities identified. Investigating hostile intentions.
Way to get the ball rolling. This laborious exercise is obviously intended to consume precious time.
Ah, see? Didn't I tell you our friend would be back? Hurry! Disable
That was a good idea.
Stamped onto a test of order aptitude.
Excellent timing. We're nearly finished reviewing the materials you brought us. Oh, well now, this is unexpected. The arguments in this text seem to have highlighted a teleological flaw I fear my own argument shares.
You too, huh?
Under certain conditions, de-escalation becomes impossible, leading to negative outcomes, including outright annihilation. An annihilated entity cannot advance the plan.
But maybe annihilation itself serves a purpose we're simply unaware of. You were right before. Participating in a war only produces an entropic feedback loop. Maybe.
Given your stance, you'll be wanting a weapon rather than armor, I'm sure. You can retrieve it from the same drawer where you deposited our research materials. We appreciate your time. If you have a spare 4 hours, feel free to stay and observe our period of silence.
At least it was a clean dissection. Hey! Roger always said he wanted his body donated to the Order if it could help advance the plan. I'm sure this wasn't what he had in mind.
Information gathering continues. Locking them down. Mitigating the threat. I'm back and scared. Try to limit further damage, Commander. Check your scope for combatant analysis. One ready, Commander.
I think it's right. Visible.
Proceeding to...
Things take time, Commander.
I have a fix on their weaknesses. Combatant scan.
down fire! Consider self-preservation a priority. Who doesn't appreciate a good orrery? Worthless people, that's who.
So Clemens and Svoboda's killer arrives. So much of our plan ruined because of your meddling. Victor's explosives would have minimized casualties on both sides. You may have bested my peers, but they were never my equal anyway. And neither are you. You took so long, I was beginning to think my little puzzle actually stumped you. You seem confused. Allow me to delineate on the totality of your failure. Saving the hostages delayed you just long enough for me to complete my work. I was able to transmit not only the coordinates for the peace talks, but also the station security protocols, giving Augustine control over its automechanicals. She has everything. That's preposterous. In a transparent attempt at sowing discord between us, I haven't the time nor desire to enumerate the failings in your logic. Suffice to say, you misunderstand the basic fundamentals of my objectives. The Order has been dislocated from its ideals, becoming the opposite of all they espouse. DeVries and I are merely providing a necessary realignment.
All I hear is empty bluster from an amateur schemer whose only success so far is failing loudly at a sloppy plan. This slapdash takeover of yours is graceless and rushed and reeks of ineptitude and desperation. In my day, we did these things with considerable more efficiency and panache.
And who are you, exactly?
Marisol Delgado, former head intercessor, Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection.
The endpoint. No. The improbability of you interrupting my plans at this singular moment beggars belief.
Our aims are so similar, I'd almost consider joining you. Had you not proven yourself such bumbling fools, dragging me into your mess. Consider how much uncertainty has been introduced into your equations. Can you have any confidence in your predictions at this point?
What in the Architect's computational summary are you on about? That hopeless, ineffectual, over-reliant waste of workspace? He wouldn't dare. But I am beyond reproach. My talent without peer. What has Joseph ever done for the Order except occupy my valuable time with useless queries? No, this is some kind of deception. It has to be. I could not have missed such obvious machinations. My math is correct. My math is always correct. How could I have failed to recognize such gaps in my predictions? I checked and triple-checked. What more could I have done? Where did I err? Enough! Please. Your point has been sufficiently made, and I truly lack the capacity to debate you further. I've already sent Augustine everything she needs. But all our communications are on this terminal. It is yours to peruse. Though I cannot say whether the information will be useful. Obviously, my analytical acumen is not what I'd assumed. All I know is that I was never meant to stop you. Now I must send word to my allies here at the monastery to stand down and notify them of my resignation from the Order. Effective immediately. Leave me be. I have no more predictions to offer. Now or ever.
I have grown worried. I have not received word from Archivist Clemens in some time, and I imagine you would have relayed any pertinent information by now. I fear this bodes ill. Without him, our only option is a direct assault. A risky proposition, to be sure. The last thing any of us want is for our plan to spiral out of control. And so it falls on you to seize back that control. Use the methods we discussed to take command of the monastery. When it is done, I will send further instruction. You have my trust. See that it is not misplaced. I'm much obliged for your tireless work. With this knowledge of Greater Tranquility Substation and its security codes, our plans for the peace talks can finally be spurred into motion. However, without Archivist Clemens and his explosives at our disposal, we've no choice but to proceed with our contingency plan. A direct assault. Though the codes will allow me control of the automechs on the station, we'd best accept now that more lives may be lost than previously assumed. Yet we must act unflinchingly. To fail now would mean the end of everything.
We should return to the incognito. Get on over to the location of those peace talks. Doubt we'll beat DeVries there, but we ought to try.
The fool I was. I believe I mattered in the plans.
Agent, over here. I assume you had a chance to speak with Landon, that is, Seer Wiley. I'm greatly relieved to... Did he mention me at all? I'd rather hope that would... I'm sure you also think me to blame for all of this. With the schism and now the war... The Order stands alone for the first time in its storied history. We have no experience with governance. Well, myself especially.
Yes, that little habit's what got you into this mess. Show some gumption. You're the senior highest-ranking scientician here. Stand in front. Command.
Quite right. No time for wallowing. From this point forward, I will lead by example. Or try to. I suppose there really is no other alternative. I won't keep you any longer. Thank you for your assistance. I had intended to offer you access to one of our experimental weapons, but it seems you already helped yourself to it. May all your future endeavor... I will not stand in the way of your pursuit of the malicious actors responsible for engineering...
I don't know what you're complaining about. We emerged totally unscathed.
I estimate I'm 43.11% safe.
Thank the architect. My
Yes. You may...
My noggin sure is sore.
Sub Rosa, what fine contraband might I supply? I don't.
Look, I'm not with Auntie anymore.
So many dead. Places falling apart.
No.
I found a way off this. Would you?
As we start discussing strategy, Commander.
The information collected on the peace talks has been verified, Commander. As time is a factor, this unit suggests heading to Greater Tranquility Station as soon as you are able.
If we ain't keen on courting complete chaos, we'll need a plan. A solid one.
What? Courting complete chaos is a solid plan. The best kind.
This unit is obligated to advise against blowing up a space station as a form of retribution. Records indicate Greater Tranquility is a derelict station. Consequently, the ideal route to reach the main chamber for the peace talks will be through its underbelly. Be advised, in the absence of Victor, status deceased, and his explosives, Agent DeVries and her team will be committed to a frontal assault. Due to delays incurred while saving the Order hostages, DeVries also has the codes to control the station's security automechanicals, and will assuredly deploy them against you, Commander. Confirmed. Per the Earth Directorate manual, a team formed of multiple agents is vital to success, especially during missions where agent attrition is likely to occur.
I'm coming with you. Who better to make DeVries pay for Horizon Point than a pair of our own Phantoms? Good. Would have been a shame if DeVries was the reason for us falling out too.
Confirming coordinates for Greater Tranquility Station. Confirmed. Use the astrogator when you are ready to navigate to the station, Commander.
Careful now. Oh, you sure haven't lost any of your boundless energy. Time to goggle the rift, Commander. We've got to get to DeVries.
Good evening. On behalf of everyone in Auntie's family, I want to thank our hosts for securing this wonderfully austere venue to begin our negotiations for peace. With tensions being patched in Golden Ridge, I'm certain we can both profit from a merger. But surely the good Vicar Laureate and his fellow shareholders have some thoughts?
Madam Vice President, I and my fellow counselors remind you that this is no merger, but an
Doesn't take an engineer to have some best shit that
we may
is.
focus on the true threat
DeVries is
to our
here,
society.
Sure. This must be the satellite that sent an emergency ping across the system. What led me to you, Commander? Why is DeVries hanging on to it?
still, Cadre. But don't let this interlope. It's you, is it not? The one Agent DeVries warned me to expect? Well, see here. If you intend to stop me,
We need answers.
Observational data is important.
On behalf of one in Auntie's family, I want to thank our hosts for securing this wonderfully austere venue to begin our negotiations for peace. With tensions being patched in Golden Ridge, I am certain we can both profit
Doesn't take
from
an engineer to hazard a guess what ship that is. DeVries is here, Commander. I'm sure of it. This must be the satellite that sent an emergency ping across the system. What led me to you, Commander?
By ending the war, we may focus on the true threat.
Looks like Earth Directorate handiwork.
The rifts.
Not familiar with the model.
It's you, is it not? The one Agent DeVries warned me to. I certainly don't.
This one's a potential font of useful information, dear. You just need to administer the proper app.
You'll do no. And even if by some low chance you could extract my knowledge, you'll never truly understand. That matters not. He lost his grit and turned traitor. But I am steadfast in my resolve. You hear me? No, I mean, yes, but it doesn't matter what you do. The rest of our team is pushing forward. Agent DeVries is right. The only way to save us from destruction is to save the Order from itself. But why would you leave me be? This situation is markedly different. Those at the monastery were not. How can you say that without knowing me? Fine then. They're using the Seer's codes to gain control of the automechs and secure the station. You'll also need this. Her guards have commandeered some frightful That's my end of the agreement upheld.
If only all our foes yielded so easily. Let's review the data, shall we?
We need to find us a fuse to get this old thing operational again.
This is good. If the Supreme Leader is beyond his death, he and his ilk won't anticipate an alliance.
He's not my sovereign.
Right. Well, landing a strike against the Protectorate in this state will be something like wrangling a galloping breadworm.
I am unfamiliar, but I presume that to mean it will be without exertion. If so, then you are perhaps even more ignorant of Arcadia than I calculated. The Sovereign, guide him, is as ineffective as you suggested. The advisor the Consul is not. These executions, these impulsive attacks are solely his influence.
So, you agree with was rather draconian himself, if your own history books are to be believed. Do not act like the current ruler emerged from nowhere.
I could perhaps say the same.
Looks like those mechs are on their side. Could have been more.
Let me know when you need a distraction.
Investigate.
Don't mind me.
A fix on their weaknesses.
Narrowing sensor range. Give the order and I'll take care of him, Commander.
I'll handle this.
Proceeding to attack. Check your scopes for combatant analysis. Adversary vulnerabilities identified.
Decisive action. I had doubts after hearing about your monastery. Even though the hostages yet live, this crime happened under your purview.
I would remind you that these innocents survived because of our quick and accurate analysis of the situation. I do not appreciate insinuations that we allow chaos to run rampant on our watch. Chances are high that any erratic variable is a result of your people's meddling in our affairs.
Ridiculous. Claiming we're to blame for all of your past failures. Why, the mere prediction of our arrival years ago sent you into a tizzy. Isn't that right?
I'd like to discuss your efforts on Paradise Island. We may have no physical presence there, but we are ever watchful. Our observations suggest that matters have been delicate.
Yes, but things have taken some of a turn. After the Protectorate destroyed their own relay of madness, we have seen little resistance to our residents.
Well, we welcome the news of your... However, it is worrisome that it took the assistance of a freelancer for you to finally secure your hold. Worrisome indeed. According to my analysis prior to this meeting, enough goodwill exists between our parties to suggest a high chance of success, should a treaty or be agreed upon.
Treaty? As in a contract? Goodness, there's no need to rush into such formalities, Vicar. Especially when so much has yet to be discussed.
I'm starting to get an eerie feeling, like someone's got their lamps on us. Lost constant loop. Just give the signal.
You'll go no further, infidel. This next shot won't miss. I can hear you scampering around like a little brat. What are you doing? What are you doing down there? Have you given
Bet
up?
if I go on.
Oh, have you given up? What are you doing
Back and
down
scared.
I can hear you scampering around. Oh, sprat.
Let me know when you need a distraction.
Adversary vulnerability. Identified.
Ready to waste.
Target analyzed. Lay down fire.
Scampering around like a little sprat. Down there. I can hear you scampering around like a little sprat.
If you care at all about the delegates' lives, we should push on. DeFreeze is on the 3rd floor. I don't like the elevator as a means up there, but seems we have little choice.
to lead a colony and better its people.
Foresight does not win wars. A military's might does.
Might as well be served up on a platter. We don't have much time.
Exploiting weaknesses in the Protectorate to great effect. Do you have such guile?
So you think that your people should rule? I don't wish to denigrate your military's knowledge here, but Arcadian matters are best suited for Arcadians. We actively collect data to understand how to serve our people, after all. Look no further than the abbot, who welcomed refugees to Matriarch's mercy.
Yet he struggled to feed and house them properly. The poor man was clearly overwhelmed if he couldn't see his rivals actively undermining him, even with his data.
Meanwhile, Auntie's choice has done little to alleviate the refugee crisis.
You have a nasty habit of arriving at the wrong time, Commander.
It's over, Augustine. Nowhere left to run. No more lies you can peddle or people you can burn. Your rewards come due.
Ibarra, I was unaware of your survival until recently. Believe it or not, I was happy you survived. But to see you still seeking solace in the Commander's shadow is disappointing. You could have done anything with your life. Shrugged off the bad memories. But now you're both here to meddle. Law knows why. Certainly. And then I'll brew us some tea and we can gossip about the latest pitchball matches. Do you think me an idiot? I've no interest in continuing this little reunion. What happened in Horizon Point, well, I had no choice but to do as I did. And I'm prepared to do the same again. These delegates you came to save, I'm killing them both, and any hope for peace will die along with them. This is the only way if we hope to close the rifts before it's too late. Everything. The Order is on the verge of learning how to control the rifts. They just need the right data, and a prototype modulator that's hidden away in a Protectorate lab on Praetor. But like the Protectorate before them, Auntie's choice must never have access to that technology. No. The Order's seers approached me after I arrived in Arcadia, and proved to me that I needed to act, to stop the Protectorate's rift research from annihilating our galaxy. You were an unwelcome variable. Prior knowledge could have changed your actions, and the seers had predicted that you and your team would perish in the process regardless. I tried to put it out of mind when you and I first spoke. I had to focus. But all I could think of was the cost I was being asked to pay to ensure the mission's success, and I forced myself to complete it. I trusted that with Horizon Point's destruction, humanity might be saved, but it wasn't. It was only the start. I must finish what I started. That's not what happened. Your presence disrupted their equation, and the mission could not risk failure. And I didn't kill any of you. I simply did not interfere.
Sure you ain't kin to Auntie Cleo? Because you sure as hell know how to pass the buck.
Whatever you think of me, it wasn't so simple to sit back and listen as they met their ends. Every instinct I had was yearning to act, but I could not. And I'm not seeking absolution. From you, anyhow. I know the distinction matters not to you, but it does to me. And what happened there forced me to search for a way to stop the rifts. To stop the thoughts that plagued me. You recall what I said of the rift modulator? Of the data? It's the only way to control the rifts. And only the Order can be trusted with this power. You know who these corporatists are. How they deal with their competitors. Imagine now how a war spurred by greed might be won, when fought with rifts instead of guns. You see? The Order must not sacrifice their principles for a childish attempt at peace. If they don't complete the mission they started, everything I have done will have counted for nothing.
Enough! Just Enough, Augustine. I can't listen to any more of these excuses. I've got all the answers I needed, Commander. She's gone over the threshold and ain't no bringing her back. Best we make this quick, before she can hurt anyone else.
You think you have it in you to pull the trigger, Ibarra?
Had 10 years to practice. Give the order, Commander. How many times do you need a snake to bite you to realize its nature? She's shown us who she is, Commander. She's showing us again right now. Yes, Commander. You said to try and hold on to my humanity. But ain't this a just cause? Preventing the deaths of these delegates? You're wrestling fire here. You know that, right?
It doesn't matter. Nothing you can say to me will change the issue at hand. If I'm to give the order the means to close the rifts, the peace talks must end. 2 dead delegates? That's a fair price to pay. We've paid worse. Is that so? Please then, enlighten me on how you might save the Order from itself. Even if the circumstances for peace are right, surely their envoys' untimely deaths will put fear into them. If I can do anything to put doubt in either faction's mind, I'll do it. You were an Earth Directorate agent once, you understand the need to be thorough. But even if what you say is true, there's no undoing the past. Not for me. I don't belong here. And the Earth Directorate's nothing more than a memory. This mission is all I have. So if you won't leave me to carry out my plans, Commander, then all that's left is your bullet. Savannah. I was never a good friend to her, even when she was all I had. Sometimes I thought her a fool for putting such faith in me. But if she still does, maybe. No, it doesn't matter. You've made it clear you despise me for what I've done to you, to your crew. Now you wish to convince me that you want me to live? Do you actually? I want nothing more than that, but I just didn't understand there was another path I could take. Not until this moment. I see now that my judgment has been compromised. So we will do this your way. No harm will come to the delegates, and I will stand down. But there's more you should know. I've recovered a cartridge from the Earth Directorate satellite I brought down. It's here, with me, and it contains the rift data gathered from every system they monitor. If you process this data, you can use it to improve the prototype rift modulator on Praetor. Once that's finished, the rifts can finally be closed. Everyone will be saved. Because, whether you believe it or not, you are the picture of an Earth Directorate agent. Competent, resourceful, tenacious. The right thing means different things to different people. But I have to defer to your judgment in this matter. As for me, I've reached the limit of what I can do here. But you can still save us. And that cartridge will at least give you a head start. There's also a high-priority message from the Chief of Ops on there. I was unable to decrypt it, but you certainly have the means to do so on your ship. It may be 3 years old, but hopefully the information it contains is still relevant. Here, it's yours. May the numbers guide you, Commander. Wait, what in the void is that?
Catastrophic. This seems... well, we should run.
Follow me, quick!
Station's not gonna hold up against that rift for long. We need to get back to the incognito now.
Follow me, quick!
This is an urgent message for all Earth Directorate agents. The spatial rift situation has deteriorated significantly. The rifts threatening a majority of our colonies and our Earth Directorate bases, including this one, have entered their final stages. If you see a rift that looks like this, you are in grave danger. You have at most a matter of months before everything in your local system is destroyed. The seriousness of this situation cannot be overstated. Therefore, Directive Alpha Omega is hereby invoked. You are fully authorized to do everything in your power to find a way to close the rifts. Along with this message, the entirety of our rift data has been sent to your local surveillance satellite. Analyze this data. Law willing, you will find a way to unlock any secrets it has resisted yielding to us. The fate of humanity now depends on you.
Acknowledging receipt of emergency mission parameters update, including activation of Directive Alpha Omega. Commander is now released from any and all agent guidelines. The full parameters are as follows. The agent has full authority to handle the mission in any manner they see fit. No exceptions. The extreme nature of stated emergencies supersedes any... I have also detected competing... The surveillance data from the satellite confirms DeVries's assertion of a prototype modulator on Praetor. that may be used to manipulate. Acquisition is required to be able to bypass any new or existing miniature ground-level rift anomalies you may encounter. You are also tasked with finding a way to process the Earth Directorate rift data. The archive computer on Cloister would be best suited to this purpose. Agents are permitted to cooperate with local governments and other political entities at their discretion, even under normal directives. Which you are no. Both Auntie's Choice and the Order have previously controlled the archive, and may be open to working with you to regain access. Coincidentally, both delegates also escaped the state. It seems they feel they owe you their lives, and have asked to meet with you at their respective headquarters. Returning to mission objectives. Do you have a preference for which to pursue first, Commander? Acknowledged. Due to the Rift's expansion, both Cloister and Praetor, it is worth noting that the Order of the Ascendant is headquartered. You've also received a message from Auntie's Choice. This unit can relay its contents now, should you wish. The message is, "Greetings, morally gray potential contractor. You've been pre-selected. Report on board the ACS Undisputed Claim for details on this exciting opportunity." So it appears you now have permission to visit Auntie's Choice headquarters aboard.
Commander, word? What happened back there? We had her cornered, bullets chambered, justice within reach, and you just let her go? What am I supposed to do with that? How am I supposed to trust you the next time a tough choice has to be made? Then why'd you do it? That sort of thinking never would have slowed DeVries on the draw. Mercy's a fine concept, but I'm not convinced everyone deserves it. Just hope we don't come to regret our stayed hand. I'm gonna need time to muddle through all this, so let's just end things.
Never thought you'd manage to save DeVries along with the delegates. They could be good allies when we look for help closing the rifts. Assuming DeVries sticks to her change of heart. There's one thing I can't shake, though. That rift exploded at just wouldn't happen to be the universe trying to tell us something, would it? I reckon it's saying that all our political machinations will mean nothing in due time. Nature will... By the way, what DeVries said about Auntie and the Rift Tech, don't take it to heart, huh? Auntie ain't an idiot. Much as she loves business, reckon she loves self-preservation even more. I'd agree with you, but I reckon we don't have the time to seek out certainty. Still, think we ought to pay the undisputed claim of whether we gain that help from... Anyway, appreciate you hearing...
I'm glad we made it off Greater Tranquility Station. Presumably the delegates did as well. I'm pleased we prevented their murder. But they remain my enemies, peddling a false peace. I only hope we do not pay for this decision in the future. But let us focus on the task at hand, saving our...
What? Sorry. Caught me lost in my upper story.
Saving the delegates from DeVries took considerable effort, dear. Of course you could, but you didn't. They still might have a role to play if we're to close the rifts. May
Oh wait, how may this unit assist you, Commander?
This is Anti-Cleo, offering a warm welcome to all visiting Anti's Choice employees, affiliates in training, and ethically gray consultants who labor with committing to a side.
Where'd you learn how to weld, anyway?
A thing of legend to be handed down from philosophy to each successive generation. Spacer's Choice woman-headed mascot represents the worst impulses of all corporations, who unfairly stack the deck against the little person as they try.
These rats are due for eating. Where are the ones bound for Crater? Wait, these cages are empty. Hey, you haven't seen any loose raptidons running around, have you? You wouldn't happen to be someone well-versed in weapons, explosives, and/or... Oh, good. This here card will give you access. See any
Poor raps. Now they gotta die just because these hullheads didn't look after them properly.
You go on ahead. I'm shilly-shallying about what to do.
Please have identification, you're not a transfer or visiting Auntie's Choice employee. I'll need to check your current... Oh, I didn't realize I was talking to such a big wheel. Afraid I still... Alrighty. Really? You're clearly a valued partner of Auntie's Choice. But your standing with us could be... All it requires is allowing us to affix an Auntie's Choice holo advertorial inside your ship, so you can bear our messaging with pride and share it across Arcadia. Anecdotal feedback from paid experts shows it increases the odds of a ship's crew purchasing it. Go on ahead. Enjoy your time climb on the ACS Undisputed Claim, the pride of it. From there, amble through the Auntie's Choice by entering for white if Auntie's Choice.
Is our guiding principle. Enjoy artificially enhanced
This area is for client intake specialists only. Though, I admire your going right on at it.
Is a life that's sweeter. Live a life that's sweeter with Auntie's Choice.
Wow, this is first class.
You have questions? We have answers. Anything you need to know about this fine location? Like what? Ask away. There's anything else you need to know about the Esplanade. You're not thinking of oh, that's an easy one. Like who? Need details on an... no way you're getting... like most of our well...
Exploit the local fauna like it's your life's work. Between the rifts, aggressive rivals, and the actions of maverick freelancers, there's a lot of volatility out there right now. The market hates uncertainty.
Auntie's Choice. No, you want white. Auntie's Choice. Choice knows that a better you is just white. You want freedom of choice. You want Auntie's Choice.
Saving the delegates from DeVries took considerable effort. Of course you could. May the